Are you looking to start your freelance, consulting, coaching, content creation, or simply business journey, but you have no idea where to start? All of these other gurus out there are telling you to pick the most profitable niche of 2025, 26, 27, 2099. But what if I told you that none of this really mattered? What really matters right now is something else that you have not even thought about. Welcome to Believing the Unbelievable podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about how the most profitable niche found me rather than me chasing it from the get go. Okay, so in 2019, when I started this journey of making money online and I started searching for different ways, I found hundreds of different ways of making money online, right? And I also found a lot of most profitable ones at the time and so on and so forth. But what I did was I reviewed everything and I just picked one of that. And that was Instagram, growing on Instagram and all of that. Nicholas Pede was the person who inspired me to get inside of this faceless Instagram pages kind of stuff, right? So I created an Instagram page first and I started posting content inside of it. And we were so impatient that I ended up buying a few followers inside of that business page, like 600, not really buying, but it was absolutely free, right? There was these different apps that will give you like 400, 500 followers on your Instagram account, right? At the time 2019, all of this was really crazy. So I got this 600 followers in there. 400 got them on organically, crossed 1000 followers in 30 days. And I had already created all of these different posts, right? And I started, what I thought was, if I can do this for myself, I can do it for others as well. That's how I landed my first client. You can watch this particular video that talks about how I landed my first client. But that's how I got inside of content creation after the Instagram thing. And then once I created this small content for different pages, I thought if I can do it for others, I can do it for myself as well. So I started my own personal brand, Digimaz, where I again became an Instagram coach because I was learning from this Instagram guru who was telling me how to grow on Instagram. I learned all of that, applied it to a few accounts, grew them to some extent, and then I started this. I took this challenge of 90 days of creating carousels inside of my personal brand, where I was talking about Instagram. So I became an Instagram guru, right? So first it was about creating content, then it was about becoming an Instagram guru, and then after once I started creating these pieces of carousels, I started getting really good at design. So I thought, okay, if I'm really getting good at design, what I can do is I can do this kind of carousel designs for other people as well. So I got inside the design and branding niche, right? So I had already gotten all of this experience, so I got a few clients for branding and Instagram design and all of that stuff. So I got inside of that and did that. But then after some time, I realized I watched this video by Russell Brunson and I was like really inspired from the get go at the beginning when I started my journey. So I thought, okay, now I have some money for me to invest in the ClickFunnels software. So let me just go ahead and get ClickFunnels and create a few funnels for myself, right? So I created that funnel and then I became like a success kind of thing at the time at the age of 20, where I was just showing people, hey, you can do this, you can get these clients coming in and so on and so forth. So I got inside of that. I created one funnel, I created several different ebooks. I thought of selling that to an Indian audience for $47, which was very childish, right? But then I got inside of that fourth or fifth niche, right? And then right after that, at that time I thought, okay, let me just start running ads to this and see how people respond to it. At that time my page, like landing page, it was kind of like a lead form. It attracted people like crazy. 90% opt-in rate for a lead generation funnel. I was like, I cracked the code, right? 1000 plus people got the freebie that I offered first, then I showed them the $47 product. But guess what, when I launched, no one bought the $47 offer. None of them, right? I even printed the PDF into a real book. It was called Building the Path. I still have that book with me. I would show it in some time, but I still have that. It was like a long book where I was showing people how they can make money doing what they love, right? And what happened was I got inside of that particular niche. It did not work out. It was really terrible. But then I thought, okay, if this did not work out, there was this new thing that came up called Misho at the time, 2020, right? So Misho was a platform that allowed individuals like us to sell products, which were like physical products, for a profit, right? So they were wholesaling it. For any other market out there, they were like offering, let's say, a pile of book for like $1,000 or like $10, $20, right? And then what we could do inside of that app was that that pile of book was available for $5, and then I could add a profit margin of $5, and then I could just make some profit by selling that pile of book, right? So I did not have to create anything. They would ship and all of that. So it was kind of like e-commerce. And then what I did was I was like, this is my next venture. I'm gonna crush this. I created a full-fledged website. I started marketing people that, hey, I'm doing this e-commerce business right now. You can buy this. You can buy curtains. You can buy shoes. All of the different stuff. I invested like 1 month, 2 months inside of this. And then what happened eventually was when I launched, nobody bought anything from it as well, except my mother. My mother bought something from it, and I made like 150 rupees from it, which was like $2, close to $2. But then that did not work out as well, so I stopped doing that. And then I came back into the funnels niche, and then I started offering my funnel services to different individuals. I started offering call funnels. I started offering appointment funnels, lead generation funnels, since I had already gotten some proof in lead generation. I also started creating webinar funnels and virtual event SaaS agency, all of that kind of funnels. I started creating all of that for different individuals, for which I was charging a fee. And then I went through and invested inside of this coach, who was teaching people how people can make some commissions off of just talking to people on sales calls and closing the deal. So this was like a closing niche where people can go ahead and close deals of like high value of like 10,000, $20,000. They can make $1,000 commission. So I saw that and I was like, okay, by with just a 1 hour conversation, I can make this kind of commission, which is crazy. So I invested a lot of money inside of that particular program. That's a topic for another day. But I got inside of the closing niche. And then I figured that it wasn't fulfilling. Even if I made some money from it, I did not it didn't make sense to me, right? So I stopped doing that as well, went back to funnels. Once I got inside of funnels, then I invested in another coach, and that coach told me to niche even further down, to pick one funnel out of all these different funnels. And I was really really scared to do that, because I was offering so many different funnels, and I thought, okay, if I just offer this particular funnel, that would be crazy. I wouldn't make any money from all the other people. So it was a really hard decision. I just sat on that decision for like a whole year, until one day what happened in 2022. I helped one of the people, a really good friend of mine. He was in public speaking niche. He's from Philadelphia, US, and we worked together. And I was about to create a post for him, a lead generation funnel for him. I created a lead generation funnel, and I thought, okay, you are really good at speaking, right? Why don't we do a challenge funnel for you, right? At that time, Tony Robbins had uploaded this, like he was doing Own Your Future challenge, or it was some kind of a 5 day challenge where he was able to make $80 million by bringing almost a million people inside of a 5 day challenge, a free 5 day challenge, and then he upsold them a $2,000 offer. I was really intrigued by it, so I came to this particular client of mine and I asked him, "Hey, why not we do this?" And then he agreed to that, and we made a decision to work together. And I offered him the service. He was able to pick it, and we created a challenge funnel for him, right? And accidentally, what happened was we were able to sell like 11 tickets to that challenge, and all of that 11 people came to the challenge. They were watching the trainings every single day. Towards the end, my client went ahead and pitched an offer, which was a $3,000 program. But then something really crazy happened within it. That guy, there was two people inside of this challenge who were corporate individuals, right? They were like high level corporate employees. And what they did was they saw my client deliver the content over 5 days, and they were so impressed by him that they wanted to give them corporate gigs to come and teach their corporate employees on how to do public speaking. And those deals were, one deal was $50,000, 50,000. Another deal was $70,000. And then there was another individual inside of that challenge who asked for his 6 months of private coaching, and that was $20,000. He ended up making $155,000 in revenue and collecting $55,000 in cash in those 5 days. I was like, what? This is insane, right? This is insane. And that's when I never looked back. More importantly, what happened was, like, all of these individuals who were watching their content, watching my clients' content, they were like, this particular challenge really changed their lives and all of that different stuff. And all of those messages that were coming in were like really, really big, and it was really transformative. So I thought, okay, this is it. This is what I want to do. This didn't only make the client money, but at the same time, it really changed people's life. So my code for my company that I launched in 2020, I registered my business called Cresiners, and the tagline for Cresiners was "Create for a Change." And this is the change that I really wanted to bring in to really transform people's lives. Okay, not just in monetary terms for my client, but at the same time, having real-time transformation by having people inside of a 5 day challenge. That's when I niche down into just doing challenges for different individuals. Since then, I have worked with several people. It got really, really good results. You can go to www.thechallengebeast.com at thechallengebeast.com, and you will be able to see all the results we have gotten and all the different work that we have done for different individuals. Okay, so this is how my niche, my most profitable niche, found me. Because after I niched down, I was able to attract the biggest deals of my life that I never thought that I could even do, right? Just because I started somewhere. I did not wait for to find the challenge niche after 6 years. I just started, and over these 6 years, it took me like 3 years to find this particular niche, and then I just stuck to it. Right? Even now, it's been really, really crazy and transformative for myself. I feel happy to come up and show up and to create videos just because I love what I do, and not because some guru told me that it is a profitable niche. Okay, I just let the niche find me rather than me trying to find it. Okay, so I hope this entire video was helpful to you. Now here's what I would do if I were in your shoes today. In order to find my niche, I would just get started. I would just pick a topic that comes easy to me, right? Remember, what came easy to me back then was content creation, right? I knew that if I could create content for myself, I can create content for other individuals as well. So I just went in and offered that as a service rather than waiting for me to master funnels or master content creation. I did not take any course. I did not take how to create carousels on Instagram. None of that course. I did not take any course. I just figured it out. I got Photoshop and I started creating content, and that's how I learned, by actually doing the stuff, right? So do not need all of this different stuff. All you need is to just get started and let the niche find you rather than you finding them. Because at the end of the day, you need to be fulfilled with what work you're doing rather than chasing what really works. Okay, because right now AI is booming. 2 years later, something else will come up. 2 years before, NFTs and bitcoins were crazy. So every now and then there will come a trend, right? If that trend actually makes sense to you, comes easy to you. If you're a software engineer, right, and AI makes more sense to you, definitely get inside of the trend, utilize the trend. But don't start something just because somebody else told you to do it. Start something that actually makes sense to you, and then go from there. So I hope this entire video was helpful to you, and I cannot wait for you to get started. Go ahead and drop in the comments what you're going to start with, and if you're an entrepreneur, then go ahead and drop in the comments what is it exactly that you started your journey with, but where you are right now, what you're doing. So go ahead and type that down in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to read all of that, and I'll be seeing you on the next one. Until then, remember that the impossible is possible if You keep believing the unbelievable.